I'm really scared to be reading The Bone Season. This is one of Leo's favourite books. If I don't like it, I'm really scared for the future of our friendship. Also, actually, The Bone Season keeps autocorrecting to the boner season whenever I type it in my phone, and I'm really confused because I don't even use the word boner that often, and just like...
Hi everybody, and welcome back to this booktube channel. It's called Fictional Fates. It is Joel's channel, and I'm not Joel, obviously. Hi, my name is Leora, and I also make booktube videos, and my channel is called Books with Leo, and today Joel and I are doing a little collab. Today, Joel and I are reading each other's favourite books. I really wanted Joel to read The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I love The Bone Season. It's such an amazing story, and Samantha Shannon is so good with world building. And yeah, it is one of my favourites, so I really wanted Joel to read it, and he did. So yeah, in the rest of the vlog you can see what he thought of it. And in my vlog I read The Black Veins, which is one of Joel's favourite books, so definitely don't forget to check that out at the end of this. But first watch this because Joel's amazing, so yeah. Bye! See you later!
Hi friends, my name is Joel and welcome back to my booktube channel. If you have yet to check out my previous video, you should go check that out because it's probably something really awesome and really cool. So what's not to like? And if you have yet to check out my Twitter nor my Bookstagram, I think you should definitely go check that out as well because I post some extra bookish content that you won't see here. For today's video, I am in a collab for the very first time on this channel with another booktuber. Her name is Leora from Books with Leo, and today I'm going to be reading one of her favourite books, which is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. And as you can already see by the tabs, I've already read it. So the reading vlog that you'll be watching today is something that I've recorded before recording this intro clip, which is very weird for me because it's kind of like I want to discuss the book, but at the same time I know that you guys haven't seen me read it yet, so it's very weird and very strange. So on Leo's channel she is reading one of my favourite books, which is The Black Veins by Asia Monet. Plus, if you haven't seen already, Leo makes these amazingly gorgeous bookmarks. She currently has ones in her store that are like tarot cards, and I'll also have her shop link in the description as well, along with her channel and video link. Share the love to one another and definitely go buy her bookmarks because they're just amazing. And The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon is the first book in the Bone Season septology. We're currently up to book 3, but book 4 will be coming out very soon, I think in like early 2021, and it's called The Mask Falling, which, given the current pandemic, the name is just very apt. But I've already pre-ordered it because I definitely want to continue on with the series. Basically, The Bone Season follows Paige, who is a clairvoyant, and more specifically she is a dream walker, and she is able to venture through different people's dreamscapes, and she works as one of the 7 seals under the Mime Lord Jax. And essentially one day she gets captured because clairvoyance is illegal in London, and so she is taken to a prison, but then is transferred to Oxford, where she is then forced to serve under the Rephahim, which are like these otherworldly creatures. And she is then assigned under a Rephahim named Warden, and from there everything ensues, and it's just cool and amazing. I think when I wanted to pick this up, I think I picked this up years ago when it was, I think I saw it for £8 somewhere, and so I definitely thought like, oh yes, this is a book for me. And I heard a lot of people talk about how good The Bone Season was way back when. I think it was when I was on Tumblr, but I just never got round to reading it. I think it was one of those stories that scared me purely because I saw a lot of people hyping it up, and there was a massive FOMO for me, like a fear of missing out. And so I got it, but I never got round to reading it. And I think it's one of those things that I am more consciously aware of now when I like request arcs or request books, or even when I like buy books. I always try and make sure that they are actually books that I want to read and books that I have an investment in. This reading vlog was definitely the perfect excuse for me to read it. I just want to pick up the rest of this series now. But yeah, check out Leo's channel for all of the amazingness of her reading The Black Veins. I spied roller skates in her intro, and so I think that's going to be amazing. And yes, I hope you enjoy this little reading vlog. You get to see me ramble a bit about reaching 30,000 subscribers. I forget the rest of the things that happened during that reading vlog, so it's going to be an experience for both of us. Me whilst I'm editing this and you watching this now. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Good morning, friends. Last night I was on a video call with Leo and we both basically did a few reading sprints together with a few internet issues, but we managed to get there in the end. And Leo had already started The Black Veins and almost was finished, and I was just like, I haven't started the bone season yet. And she was just like, oh, okay. And I'm currently on page 31. So I'm almost finished chapter 2. And already I can tell that the bone season sets up a lot of the world already, and that Samantha Shannon has really taken care in how she sets up her world building for this alternative London. And it's really intriguing to see how much different the history is between our world and the Scion world. And I think that Samantha Shannon's world building is very stellar in the fact that she's able to seamlessly integrate it into the plot and also make it seem very natural for us to learn about the world as Paige is living in it. So far, the character of Paige is quite interesting. I think that she is very well written and fleshed out. I think that we already see a lot of her character flaws right away displayed across the page, and I think that she is just very good in the sense that her decisions are behind very clear motivations that we see in the very beginning, and we see the type of person that Paige is in the very beginning. She also comes across as a very human character. The decisions that she makes already within these first 2 chapters I relate to a lot because it's something I would do in her situation, and so yeah, I'm enjoying it. Kind of want to get halfway by tonight, but we'll see. It is my mum's birthday today, and so I am gonna try and celebrate with her throughout today and then check back in with all of you in the evening. So yeah, I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Hopefully you're drinking any beverage and staying hydrated. Remember to take care of yourselves, and yes, I will catch up with you all later. So, I have my iced matcha tea latte, I am relaxed, and I am now 25% of the way through The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. Good afternoon, everyone. I am really liking the setup so far, because the first 25% I think definitely is a lot of setup towards the rest of the novel, and I think that Samantha Shannon does really well in trying to world build and to build this alternative history of Britain that I just think works really well within this, and she's really able to show us the clairvoyant society amazingly and how it integrates with the society that we know today. And also show that how different it is from our society by showing the work of the Scions and showing us how the Rephaim have come into existence and stuff. And I just think it's so wonderfully crafted that I'm adoring it. I'm really adoring the story so far. Paige Mahoney is such a real 3-dimensional character that I found myself relating to a lot so far throughout the story. Like her urge for survival definitely grounds her character, and that is her one core principle, and that is her one core motivation, is survival, and all of the decisions that she's made so far is for that fact of survival. And I commend her. I commend Paige in her efforts. We meet a few other characters as well, such as Julian and Seb, but then we also meet Nashira and Warden, and all of those characters are just super intriguing. And I just finished chapter 8. So those of you who have read the Bone season will know where I have just come from. And yeah, I can't wait. Like, this is super interesting and it's super intriguing. There's definitely a mystery, and I'm just hoping that it doesn't disappoint me, because I am really liking it. And like I said, this is a lot of my friends' favorite book series, or they really like it. And also the 4th book's cover reveal is coming tomorrow, which I'm super excited to see. But yeah, I'm just really happy with this so far, and I'm hoping the pace does quicken a little just as we're proceeding towards the midpoint of the story. Yeah, I'm thinking the siren might go off, and that might be the midpoint. I'm not exactly sure yet, but I'm quite excited to see what happens. But we also have something to celebrate. Last night, we reached 30,000 subscribers on this booktube channel, and I am blown away by the amount of support and the amount of love that you've all shown me over this past 2 months. And I feel really privileged in the sense that a lot of you have come and found me right away, and that I'm just super thankful, and I can't wait to pay it forward and pay it back to everyone, and like smaller booktube creators and other people as well, like book bloggers and bookstagrammers. I definitely think that there's definitely a lot of room for me to share the love and use my platform to help boost other creators as well. I'm a bit anxious about the fact that I've grown so quickly as well, but I guess it's something I'm gonna have to grow kind of used to, and also adapt really quickly to it. I think I've just got to keep reminding myself why I created this channel, and like to share my love of reading, but also to uplift other members of our community as well who need it and who don't have as big of a platform as I now do. And I definitely think it's something that I want to do. So yeah, yesterday was my mum's birthday. She turned 56, but if she asks, she actually turned 44, because ever since she turned 50, she claims that she's been aging backwards. And so she turned 44 yesterday, and it was just one of those days that I really began reflecting upon everything that has happened this year so far. And I'm just extremely thankful for everything that's happened, and especially with now going into my last year of university, I just think that it's really a time for me to kind of show everything I've learned and everything that I have taken from my course. And I definitely think I want to do some series when I look at books from like a critical literature perspective. So like I could go in the space between worlds and talk about classism, and I think that it's definitely something that I would love to do. But also after university, let's say I get a publishing internship, I would love to do a publishing diary series where I go into explaining more about the publishing industry and how the publishing industry works. And I think that it'd be something that's quite cool to do as well. Like Eve Cornwell, who is a UK, I guess she used to be a study tuber, but now I guess she's just a YouTuber. Like she has like this lawyer trainee diary thing. I would love to do something like that for publishing and just give a lot of people a lot more of a background into publishing. I think it's something that hasn't been touched upon a lot, and I definitely think it's something that I could definitely bring to the table. And yeah, I just am really excited to see what the future holds, and especially with our growing platform here with so many friends here, I'm hoping that we'll all be able to come together and celebrate together. I definitely have a few extra plans. Going back to the Bone season, I'm gonna continue on with the Bone season. I probably will check up with you at 50%, so I'm thinking there's 29 chapters in total. I guess I'll check in with you after chapter 14 or 15, depending on like what happens and stuff. I'm gonna get to continuing reading the Bone season, and I will check up with you soon. Hello everyone, it is currently almost 3 a.m. and I am halfway through The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. So far it is really intriguing and I'm really enjoying it. I'm liking the plot development and I'm liking how Samantha Shannon is using world building to help influence the plot and using it to help make the plot make a lot more sense. And I think that her world building is phenomenal and chef's kiss. She does it in a way that it seems very natural and it seems very timely with the progression of the story, which is something that I am obsessed with in writing, when writers can perfectly nail when to reveal information. That's just amazing. I also really like the relationship development between Warden and Paige. I think one of my worries about going into the Bone Season was that there was going to be a whole focus on this kind of like slave-master relationship between Paige and Warden. Kind of delves on that a little, but it kind of is very dismissive of that idea. There is a little bit of talk about like claiming, like Warden's like, oh, I claimed you, Paige, and it's like, sounds a bit like, you know, mate, but it's just like, oh, no. But then in the chapters that I've recently read, we're now going more towards a kind of student-teacher relationship kind of dynamic, which I will take that over slave and master, that is fine. But I do see them becoming friends, maybe something more. I'm thinking something more because he is our main male protagonist, otherworldly protagonist. We've just got to the midpoint of the novel and something interesting is about to happen, and I'm really intrigued to see how Paige is going to react to it and how it's going to happen. But yeah, I think that it's just gonna be really exciting to see what happens. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Julian is a really interesting character as well. Oh, actually, I do have a few theories about the rest of this book and what it has to hold, and particularly with Paige's dreamscape as well and what is in her dreamscape. So I have theories. I don't know if they'll be correct, but we'll see. But Warden is also a really interesting character as well because he doesn't really subscribe to a lot of the Rephahim's ideologies. Like, he calls people by their names instead of numbers, but like he's never really reprimanded for it. And it's nice to see that he's not like the others, but at the same time it's like no one really calls him out on. But Duckett is a very funny character as well, and I cannot wait to see more of him hopefully in this. And yeah, I'm thinking hopefully we'll get some more answers because I do have quite a lot of questions at the moment. It's safe to say that I think this so far, if I was to rate what I've read so far, I think it'd be 4 stars for me. Not exactly a 5 because I'm not like, oh my god, this is my obsession. And I do feel at times that it goes on too far of a tangent. However, it's not massively distracting, and so I think that so far it's a 4-star read. But obviously the next 50% of the novel will change that depending on if it gets better or worse, or it could just stay the same and can remain 4 stars for me. But I'm really excited to see what happens next. I don't know whether I'm going to continue reading now or go to sleep and read this in the morning. But whatever happens, happens, and so yeah, I will see you once I get to about 75%, which I think would be about, there's 29 chapters in this. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to you once I finish chapter 23, and we'll see what happens. See you soon. So yesterday I finished, well no, it was like at 3 a.m, 4 a.m. this morning, I finished The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I basically spent the entire day yesterday reading this and finishing this. I didn't really record any of my reactions because I was quite engrossed in what was happening in The Bone Season, and I think that the last 25% really sold the rest of the series to me and the rest of the intrigue and The cover for the fourth book was released yesterday and it is utterly gorgeous. I am obsessed. I want to read the rest of this series. Like, reading one of Leo's books has definitely opened my eyes to a lot of the books that different people read, and I definitely think that The Bone Season is a series I was afraid of getting into for the longest time, but now that I've read it, I'm really intrigued to see what happens next. And I think my critiques for this, ones that Samantha Shannon herself has already admitted to herself, like there was a few info dumps which made the novel's pacing kind of go off a little, and it did make it a bit more of a denser read, and it did slow down the reading for me whenever there was like a massive info dump. And I think that the pacing between the 50% mark to the 75% mark was a bit off as well. But apart from that, this is a really beautifully crafted world. You can really see the amount of time that Samantha Shannon took to craft this world and craft this society of clairvoyance, and the orders and the magic system is just phenomenal, and I can only commend her for the amount of time and energy it must have taken her to write such a series, and the writing as well. Like, Samantha Shannon can write descriptively and succinctly, and I really appreciate that, and her characters are very well thought out. Like, Warden is just such a intriguing character. He kind of reminds me a lot of Dara's character progression, but not in the same sense that Dara was a much more tragic victim of abuse and was a much more tragic victim of believing in something that he didn't see as flawed. Meanwhile, Warden saw something as flawed, tried to act against it, and I think that it's something that is definitely intriguing, and I think that Paige also is such a relatable protagonist, and I think that it's important when you're writing and crafting a novel that your protagonist is in some way relatable to your audience. And I think that Paige's determination for survival, but also when you find out what is her deepest, darkest memory, I almost cried, because I just found it to be so relatable to me myself, like, and how people perceive me. Like, I think that Paige Mahoney is just such a well thought out character that I cannot wait to see how she grows in the next 3 books. But no, I'm definitely going to be picking up the Mime Order in hardcover as soon as I can, and hopefully reading it over the next few months. I definitely want to catch up on the series before the 4th book comes out so that I can read it with everyone else. Hopefully I might get an advanced reader's copy, maybe, so that I can even read it beforehand. Bloomsbury, if you're watching this, you know where I'm at. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars, purely because of the issues that I've stated earlier, but also I have no doubt in my mind that the next books might even get a 5-star rating. I'm just really happy to see a series set in London, like London and Oxford, and it's just nice to see these places that I've been to be in this story, and it's nice for a change from like the typical American fantastical setting. Like I said, I'm just super happy that I've read this, and I'm super happy that Leo has read this. We're going to be going on a Zoom call soon so that we can discuss our books together, and so I will probably now cut to that Zoom call. So I will see you when I wrap up. Hi everyone, so we're here finally to do our little wrap-up of The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. As we all know, I really enjoyed it. I loved how Samantha Shannon's writing was able to build the world straight away, and how she was able to kind of immerse us in everything, and Paige's story. Paige is such a well-developed character as well. I think that she definitely goes through a lot in this, and we definitely see her as a very real human being straight away. Her conflict with the Rephaim and Warden and everything else was really well depicted. What initially drew you to The Bone Season, and like, why did you love it so much?
That's actually like a whole story.
Do it, tell it. Story time.
Okay. So I was, I think I was 17 when I read this first. It's been a long time. I'm 22 now. No, I was 18. Okay, so there's this event in Rotterdam where they sell like books for really cheap at like this really big, normally it's a concert hall, but then they like convert it into like a really big place full of books, like a market. And it's basically, in Holland, you have a set book price, so books are not allowed to be under that price, like by the law.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for publishing, I guess, but it's not good for my wallet. And so, yeah, so like at that age, I wasn't able to afford a lot of books, so I used to love to go there to that event. So I got there and I saw this book, and I had never heard about it. I have the Dutch copy, as you can see. It's called Het Botenseizoen. I read the back, and I loved the gold foil, so I was mostly obsessed with the gold foil. I was just like, oh, that looks so pretty. I want it. And it said on the back that Samantha Shannon was worldwide news in 2012 when she got a really big book deal, just as big as the book deal of Who Must Not Be Named.
Oh, wow.
And that's what drew me first, because I was just like, whoa, she must be something special, this lady.
Yeah.
So, and I'd heard some of my friends in the Dutch booktube community, because that was what I was in at the time. I heard them talk about it. So yeah, that's when I picked it up. And then it took me actually like a couple of years before I started it. I was very confused when I first started it. Like, I was like, what the fuck is going on? I don't get I remember reading this and being just like, And also I was really scared, because there's like, when you open the book, I'm not sure if it's the same in your copy, but it's got like a whole,
yes,
I was just like Jesus, this
like
is
the
so
whole like
already.
family tree thing, and it was just like, oh, okay.
And also in the back it has like a glossary of all these words, and I was like, Jesus, oh my god. So I was a bit intimidated, but then I got further into it and I ended up really loving it. What I loved most, whenever there's like gangs and groups of people that are close friends and that are like in the underground and like that are like bandits or however you say that, I fall for it every goddamn time. I'm so predictable. I love it every time. I can't help myself. The banter in this book is amazing. If anything is banter and witty characters, like, sign me up. It's all I want. That's what I loved most, but also Samantha Shannon is really good at developing worlds. Like, her world building is absolutely phenomenal. And just the way this is all like thought out, it is so complicated but thought out so well. Like, I've never read anything like it that is so well thought out. And like, even the romance didn't annoy me, and I'm normally so annoyed by romances like this one because it feels pretty stereotypical, but it doesn't at the same time. That's it, I guess.
I think I had the same like kind of thing as you, where I was like initially really afraid to get in this, because I think I've had this book for like, I think 3 years now, and like I just didn't pick it up until like now. And I don't know why I didn't pick it up sooner, because it's literally amazing. And like you said, like, the romance didn't annoy me. I kind of had like a few like worries about the romance, purely because it was kind of like that master kind of thing. And I was just like, ooh, like, I was like, no. But then like, when I was reading it, they kind of dismissed that right away, where she's like, no, we're more equals now. Or like the relationship dynamic changes before they actually get into kind of like their kind of closeness. The characters as well, and the way they interacted with one another was amazing. And I just felt like the gangs and like the Seven Dials were just iconic. Like, wow. And I just can't wait to see like what happens next, and like how it all carries on, and if there's any like time jump or whatever, or if something happens. But I'm really intrigued. And are you checking to see if there's a time jump?
Yeah. Oh my god, now I need to know. No, it goes on where it picked off.
Oh, love that.
Literally almost the same moment. Nice. It also has this in the second book. Do you have that too, or do you?
I don't have the second book yet. I need to get it.
Okay. Well, to be honest, I loved the second book, the Mime Order. Is it called that too in English?
Yeah.
I loved this one more than the first book. Even it was phenomenal. Loved it.
I think a lot of people are of the same opinion. Like, they like the second one more.
I remember being like kind of worried about this one going in, because she's sent to a work camp, and it's like, it feels very similar to the Holocaust, and European that has learned a lot about that in history, and like has family that went through the war and stuff. I was very like, I hope this please not be super offensive, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
At that age, I wasn't as busy with that.
I just need the second book now. I've already pre-ordered the fourth book, so I just need to get the second and the third one.
Like, you've pre-ordered the fourth, but you haven't bought the second and the third.
It was a signed copy from Waterstones. I had to.
I love you.
I was just like, I need it. Like, gorgeous cover. Why not?
I don't know, I didn't feel it was as info dumpy, the second one. And I also, to be very honest, I didn't mind in the first book. The only thing I did have with the second book is that it was very confusing to me again, because I waited like a year in between, and then I was so lost reading the book every minute. I didn't want to reread the first one because I was just so hyped to get into the second one.
I get you. I might try and look for the second one now so then I can read it in like September time so that I'm not waiting too long between books. And then I think I might pick up the third book either as an ebook, or maybe I just like sacrifice my want for like matching covers and just get the third book in the hardcover.
Well, I'm doomed on the matching covers because I have the Dutch copies, and I bought the Scion and the meme order, and they never translated beyond this, so they just sort of quit. I think the second book didn't sell as well as they hoped to, so they quit translating them, which I'm really sad about because the Dutch publishing industry is really struggling sometimes. I think also because of set book prices, but that was also already a thing they did to like try and save it, you know. This is also why I really thought doing booktube in Dutch was so important, so I'm kind of sad I'm not doing it anymore. I'm so sad because I really want the matching covers because they're like very, and the English paperback is a little bit taller, so it's like
yeah, oh god,
so stupid. I'm so sad because these books, I feel like they were a massive success. Like, Dutch people, you are sleeping on this. Like, yeah, and also I want to shout out the translator. She's called Jeanette van der Lee. She is so good. Like, sometimes you read translations and they suck and they're just not good and they just ruin the whole book. Not the case with this one. I think she did it so well, and the way she found the right words, and really well done. I think it's so difficult to translate things, so I think it's really well done.
That's amazing.
And I think I'm going to be getting them from the library because they have the whole series at the library.
Ooh, love that.
I think I'll be rereading the whole thing in English. So I'm really excited to see like how the original prose is different maybe, and looking forward to it.
Amazing. And did you have any final thoughts before we close this off?
I just want to tell you that there's such a major plot twist at the end of this second book.
Oh no, it's gonna be my reel all over again.
Well, it's not a major, like, it doesn't change everything or whatever, but it's just the way the ending of the second book is handled. I still think about it sometimes. Like, sometimes I'm in my bed at night and I'm bored of that. It made such an impact on me. Like, I just think about it from time to time, even though it's been 2 years since I read it, and it's just.
To be fair, sometimes I lay awake at night and I still think about some of the plot twists in the City of Brass. So I'm just like, great. I'm literally going to be like on my deathbed, and like the last thing I'll be like is just like, but the plot twist, and then I'll just die.
Me on my deathbed to my grandchildren being like, the mom ordered die. I want to tell Prometheus to please translate.
We'll start a petition.
Oh, also, one little last side note. I was on a date recently with a girl from Ireland, and I spent like half an hour talking to her about this as well. Like, Paige, being of Irish descent, had a really big role in the second book, or at least that's what I remember. So I ended up blabbering to her for like 20 minutes, and she didn't care at all, but.
I mean, you got to rant about a book. It's lovely.
Yeah, I know. And then we ended up talking about the weird spelling that Irish names have, and it was a good time. So I'm really glad that you enjoyed the book, and I'm really glad we enjoyed each other's recommendations, like Legends only, and love that for us.
Love that.
Like, imagine this Zoom call being like, Leo, why did you love this? It was so bad. And me being like, oh.
But no, even so, I think we both would have been like, oh, it's fine. Like, I respect your opinion. So yeah. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to like continue on with this series, and just I think it's just gonna be really amazing. And if you've yet to check out Leo's discussion and reading vlog of the Black Veins, where she reads and gushes about them in like the best way possible, definitely go check out her reading vlog. I'll have the link in the description down below. And I am just super happy that she finally read it. So
Hi friends, once again, it's me. And I hope you enjoyed that little reading vlog of the Bone season. It's just amazing. I'm so glad that she loved the Black Veins, and I'm so glad that I really enjoyed the Bone season as well. We respect each other's reading tastes, and Leo is a friend that I adore dearly. Like, just the conversations we have are just very real, and it's really nice to have genuine people on BookTube who you can vibe and connect with, and just finding those people is just amazing. And yeah, I really enjoyed the Bone season, and even Samantha Shannon herself quoted that the Bone season is a bit info-dumpy and a bit jarring for new readers, and she did recommend reading The Pale Dreamer, which is the novella that takes place before the Bone season. She recommends reading that first before you get into the Bone season. So I'll have the Pale Dreamer link in the description down below if you wanted to get into the Bone season. I definitely think that's going to be what I read next before I go on to reading the Mime Order, which I'm really excited for because that's apparently everyone's favourite book in the series, and I'm just like, ooh, that's gonna kill, because I'm gonna be reading The Poppy War and The Dragon Republic and The Burning God soon in like a weekend, like I did for Daevabad, and I am just like, how much pain am I gonna subject myself to in 1 month? Apparently a lot, but I definitely think reading people's favorite books is something that I'm gonna do more often. I think it's just a really fun experience, and like getting to talk to the person afterwards as well about like the books that they enjoyed, like from my perspective, and just seeing all of that. I think that was really cool. Which booktuber's favorite book shall I read next? Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, be sure to click that subscribe button so that you're notified whenever I upload next. This week's shout out of fates obviously goes out to Leora from Books with Leo. She is adorable, amazing, stunning, wow, completely aesthetically pleasing. I'll just have all of her information in the description because you need to go support her on every single platform. If you want to support me any further, I have my social media links in the description down below, along with my Ko-fi and Amazon wishlist, which you can use to donate any form of money or books, which will go towards improving this channel. I'll let you know when I go read the Mime Order next. But also, before we leave, can we just appreciate the nakedness of the Bone season? Because obviously, I couldn't do a reading vlog without showing the beautiful nakedness of a book, you know? But yeah, until the next video, bye friends.